Imagine this moment, the world, frozen, the wind, the oceans, every heartbeat, every atom suspended in absolute stillness, and you somehow still awake for exactly 1 minute. Time has stopped. What happens next is not magic. It is not fantasy. It is a scientific nightmare that stretches the limits of physics and the limits of what the human mind can comprehend. This is what would happen. Time is the invisible river we all travel on. We cannot touch it. We cannot slow it. We cannot speed it up. But what if suddenly this river froze? This question isn't just philosophical. It forces us to confront the machinery of reality itself. Motion, energy, perception, even the laws that govern the universe. If time stopped for 1 minute, the entire cosmos would hold its breath, but you would not. You would be the lone observer in a universe paused between 2 seconds, and the consequences would begin instantly. To understand what would happen if time stopped, we first need to understand what time is. In physics, time is not just a measurement, it's a dimension. It is the backbone of motion. Without time, nothing can move, no reactions can occur, no biological processes can continue. When time stops, energy freezes. Light freezes, gravity freezes, matter itself becomes locked in place. If you were somehow exempt from this frozen state, you would exist outside the laws that govern everything else. You would become the only moving object in an unmoving universe. Light stops moving. In normal life, light travels 299 million meters every second. It illuminates your surroundings, reflects off surfaces, and enters your eyes. But if time stops, light stops too. The photons traveling through the air would freeze mid-flight. You would instantly be plunged into absolute darkness. You would not see the world frozen around you. You would see nothing at all. The last photons that entered your eyes before the freeze would fade, leaving you blind. A silent, infinite night. Sound vanishes completely. Sound is vibration, air molecules bouncing into each other. But if time stops, molecules cannot move, air cannot vibrate. Every sound ends abruptly. A whisper, a shout, a crashing wave, all silenced, you would hear nothing, not even your own voice. No matter how loud you try to scream, the world becomes a soundless vacuum. You become physically separate from reality. If time is frozen, air molecules cannot shift aside as you walk. They are locked in place, rigid, unmoving. This means you cannot move forward, you cannot breathe, you cannot push particles out of the way. The air becomes solid. Your first step would be like walking into an invisible wall made of trapped molecules. If you tried to inhale, your lungs would find no moving oxygen. Breathing becomes impossible. To survive this 1 minute, you would have to exist outside physical interaction entirely, passing through frozen air, untouched by the laws of physics, almost like a ghost drifting through a paused universe. Gravity itself pauses. Gravity is not a force, it's the curvature of spacetime. If time stops, spacetime stops changing. Earth's gravity freezes in its last state. Objects already falling would hang motionless. A dropped glass would hover in the air. A leaping animal would remain suspended, forever caught between up and down, and yet you would fall normally, because you remain unstuck from the frozen timeline. The world would no longer respond to you, but you would still respond to the world, a terrifying asymmetry. Humanity has always feared what we cannot control, earthquakes, storms, cosmic events, but time. Time is in a category of its own. Einstein showed us that stopping time would require infinite energy. Physics tells us time can slow near black holes at extreme speeds, but can never reach zero. Even the universe itself cannot pause. Not during the Big Bang, not during the formation of galaxies, not even in the cold, dark future when stars fade and only empty space remains. There is no historical precedent, no natural comparison, no scientific experiment that can replicate it, because stopping time breaks the fundamental framework the universe is built on, and yet, in our scenario, it happens. Now imagine the minute itself. We start at the exact moment time freezes. The world turns dark, silent, still. Cars freeze mid-motion, birds stop mid-flight. Raindrops hang like tiny crystal spheres. You stand in the center of a reality that has forgotten how to move. Your heart beats, your breath pulls in and out, only because you are no longer bound to time's flow. For everything else, existence halts. Your movement creates no friction, no sound, no resistance. You push through frozen air, but the molecules don't move. You simply pass through them, like a diver sinking through still water. Yet without disturbing a single molecule, you are the only object with kinetic energy. A walking violation of physics. If you touch something, your hand goes through it. Matter cannot respond to you. You cannot open a door. You cannot lift an object. The world is untouchable. Without moving light, your eyes cannot receive new information. You rely on memory, imagination, instinct. You walk slowly, blindly, through a silent world. Your shadow no longer exists. Your reflection disappears. Mirrors show only pitch black. The universe becomes a void, even though you know you are surrounded by a frozen earth. Humans rely on sensory input to stay grounded. But here, in the frozen silence, your brain begins searching for signals that will never arrive. Your sense of motion becomes distorted. Your sense of distance collapses. Your internal clock, still running, has no external time to synchronize with. You feel 1 minute stretching into something unnatural, something longer, something disconnected from reality. Without time, gravity holds its last shape, magnetic fields freeze, electric currents halt, chemical reactions stop mid-process. Billions of systems, from your city's power grid to the beating wings of a butterfly, pause in perfect, terrifying stillness. If you could see it, the world around you would resemble a photograph in infinite resolution. A masterpiece you cannot touch, a moment trapped forever, a vibration, a faint shift, a distant echo. Light shakes free of its prison. Air sighs as molecules rush into motion. The world inhales, and suddenly everything explodes back into motion. The car continues driving. The raindrop completes its fall. The bird resumes its flight. 1 minute lost, erased, unnoticed by everyone but you. To them, nothing happened, not even a blink, but you. You witnessed the universe without time, and the memory will remain forever. Stopping time, even for a single minute, reveals a truth humans rarely consider. Time is the heartbeat of reality. It is the silent force that keeps stars burning, planets orbiting, oceans flowing, and life moving forward. Without it, existence collapses into darkness and stillness, a universe without motion, a universe without energy, a universe without life. Time does not just measure our world, it creates it, and if it ever stopped, even briefly, we would discover how fragile the machinery of existence truly is. But the question remains, if time could stop once, could it stop again, and what would you do if the next pause lasted not 1 minute, but 1 hour,